What's up, everyone? Everything is working. We are installed back at home once again, and the webcam doesn't want to run. Okay, give me a second. I need to start up my Elgato thingy here. So give me a second. Oops, Elgato camera hub. Little bit of a startup issue. We should be here any second. And ta-da! Oh, on, off. Cool, there we are. Very nice. Let's see if it continues to work, please. Okay, that is what I like to see. Very nice. We back. A little bit of a startup issue, I suppose. Now, interestingly, my prompter is not working, but we'll sort that out another time. So the webcam is working, the prompter is not, so that means I will have to keep the chat here on this window, which is the window that all of you can see. So, okay, here we are, we're back. I changed a few things with regards to my setup as well. I changed the positioning of my big screen. I have a double laptop setup on each side. And, oh, by the way, what arrived today, which I actually do want to share with you, is my new microphone. So it arrived today. I haven't yet installed it. This is still the one second. I think this is Samsung or whatever, the Q2U. You know, if you want to look for a good microphone to start with, then probably this would be a good choice for you. But the markets have been generous, and we are upgrading our equipment. So I got this one. Now it comes with the standard windscreen, but I ordered myself a custom one in preparation of arrival of the microphone. So this will be on the side of the desk, and then it will fly in with the help of this. And then we will have a Koen's mic. I need to see, you know, probably something like this. And then we got a Koen's mic. How about that? You know, always innovating. But yeah, the sound quality should improve. I gotta say, this is a great microphone. I once received it when I was invited for a podcast. They sent it to me and I was allowed to keep it. It's, I think, a great microphone. And I don't think this one actually is too expensive. But then, you know, we are now upgrading the quality this year. So I look forward to actually using the more professional microphone this year. And also my new laptop. I'm not using it yet because I'm not used to it yet. It's a MacBook. I'm currently here on Windows, so I need to get used to it. Yeah, what's up, everyone? Welcome. And now that I speak to you live, first live stream of the new year, great to have you here. Happy New Year, belated Happy New Year. I think we're still allowed to say Happy New Year in the first couple of days of the new year. So great to see all of you here. Thanks for joining in today's stream. We're going to cover Bitcoin specifically. And then after about an hour, I got to go again, and you know, the night falls. But good to have you here. And 2024 was quite a special. Before I go through the introductions, 2024 was quite nice indeed, as I made a little bit of a summary here in Discord, and maybe you have seen it in the YouTube community section as well. Written down a couple of things that happened, a few statistics for the ones that find it interesting as well. So in 2024, some noteworthy things is obviously I got married, I moved to France, the team was formed with Jeroen, and later Lachlan joined as well. Of course, we have the mods already with Adam, Mark, Odin, and maybe a Band-Aid. The polylines are introduced in the videos. The CVD indicator got a custom update thanks to Mr. Friends. Development of a website has started a new type of video, talking head content, right? The 6 steps video. A second video, by the way, is coming. It's on its way. And visited my first crypto conference in Barcelona with Blofin. And then a couple of statistics. Some of you will like stats. Some of you are maybe not too interested. But we grew by about 9.2k subscribers, 1.3 million views, 388 videos were published, 298 streams were done, 38 shorts. Most viewers are watching in the middle of the day. Top 5 geographies: US, Germany, UK, Netherlands, India. 77% of the viewers are sub, 23% is not, which actually is a very, very high percentage of subscribers on a channel. Funny enough, I actually need to decrease it, not by you guys unsubbing, but in some way the channel needs to reach other people that are not yet subscribed. That's what the marketing people are telling me. The company that's building my website is also a marketing agency. And then the age. So, most of the people here are between 25 and 44 years old. That is 65% of the people. And this year we'll have a new website, an Elliott Wave Compendium, which is a book, will be launched as well as a download and then hopefully as a physical book as well this year. Memberships innovated and updated, and the stream and video quality continues to improve. So exciting year ahead, full of Elliott Wave content on YouTube, Elliott Wave education, you name it. That's what we are going to do here. But yes, sir, Dog, welcome. Rodney, Mohib, Rahul, good to have you guys here. Mari, hot and sunny South Africa. Yeah, it's summer, right? Summer in the south there. 4 degrees in the Netherlands. Birabit, welcome, man. Good to have you here as well. Again, in 2025. What's up, man? Birabit, also an analyst, has his own YouTube channel, posts videos using AI. Very interesting. So good to have you in here as well. Samith, what's up, man? How you doing? Great trader and awesome analyst himself, Mr. Samith. Yeah, curious to see, right, what's going to happen with the alts. Samith been keeping an eye on the alts, I believe, today with the dominance dropping, and I don't know if USDTD was also dropping, but definitely some movement on some of the charts. Beer a bit. Yo, Power Meet. Happy New Year, man. Watch and listen. What's up? James, how you doing? Midwestern USA. Good to have you here. Giannis, AJ. What's up, everyone? Good stats. Yeah, I mean, channel is growing. First year or first 10 months in the first year, 2023, was 5.8k subs and now 15. And we continue to grow, but we will not lose the personal touch of the channel, which is very important to me. The commenting on your comments, the interaction, the streams, I like to be part of the community. So basically, okay. So we're going to cover Bitcoin. And we're going to zoom out as well in this stream. In the video earlier today, I only covered the 4-hour time frame, which is the time frame that I am on at the moment. We will have a look at the local price action. However, I also want to cover the weekly and the daily now that we're at it and we have a bit more time as well. Dipsy, welcome. And the Nopa, I can't read that name, but the volume profile here is on the Coinbase chart selected from the 12th of November to where we are right now, as basically this over here is where this range started and price came back with the low here towards this section. So that's why I like to have a volume profile there. So yeah, we have a point of control just above us here at about 98.5k. So that's the one I had on my chart. The people that do have my chart open in their browser, sharing is always on. Link is in the LINKTREE. LINKTREE link is in the description. You'll see whenever I change something or I have something on my chart, you're the first to see because you have my chart open. So Albert Matas, Happy New Year to you as well. I find your content the best by far. Always looking forward to many things. Thank you, sir. Thanks, Albert. Happy to hear that. And yeah, hopefully it is helpful. Hopefully it is educational as well, which is an important goal for me. So we continue making content whenever I can, which is now that I'm home every day. Okay, yeah, I heard some charts have a slightly different volume profile. Some charts have a volume profile point of control just below price, and others have it over here. So those are the two high volume nodes, of course, yeah. But okay, let's get this started. Moving this up. Oh, I have two weekly polyline folders. So let me have a look here. Oh, they're basically the same. Oh, never mind then. Put the daily polylines up there as well. There we go. And oh, that one. There we go. Always good to zoom out and start on a weekly time frame during a live stream. Aqua Fasami, what's up? Alts today. Well, not today, like also with time, I preferably focus on just the on just Bitcoin. Also, of course, first live stream back again, setting things up, and then focus on Bitcoin now. I am thinking about doing a stream during the weekend though, and covering some alts as well, as they had some interesting price action. So in the past weeks, of course, during Christmas, New Year's Eve, recently this week. Yeah, but not at the moment. Not at the moment. Why not going to the AI sector? I'm not sure what you mean, Jesse. Can you elaborate, please? Kagan, welcome. Good to have you here. Happy New Year. Do you pay attention to these differences? I do, but I keep an eye on the Coinbase chart first, and then the rest is second. It's basically just two high volume nodes, so both of these areas are important. AI XBT. As long as it's a chart, I'm able to count it. So when I do alts Kaspa, yeah, I'll probably do it this weekend. Make sure if you know, be there during the live stream. Also next week we're back to normal. You know, this is so then every day we're gonna be live and we're gonna do loads of alts as well. But yeah, I might just during the weekend do some alts. So let's start with the analysis. Let's see, we are 19 minutes in. Perfect. And let's get this going, shall we? So on a weekly time frame, we of course, you know, the weekly doesn't change very often. It's just important to have that overview. You know, one can zoom into a 50-minute time frame and basically lose track of what you're looking at on the higher time frame, right? Now the trend is to the upside. The probabilities are higher for this scenario here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looking for a 5. Common target is where we are at the moment, up to 130K. And we are preferably then looking for one more high and then get a retracement to the downside. The potential of 2 more highs, but that's something for lower time frame talk. In other words, we're preferably looking still for a higher all-time high and then take it from there. Now this target over here is basically your conservative target, 81 to 130. There is also a target all the way up to, I believe in detail, like 174K, 175K, based on my analysis on a monthly time frame that I've shared in previous content. You can find it on my macro, in the macro playlist on my channel. But first of all, we just focus on this section here. Now, alternatively, your more bullish scenario is what you see on the chart, which is a multi 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then another 1, 2. I have seen a count which I do find interesting. I don't know who it was. It may have been Samith, where the count was 1, 2, 1, 2, looking for 3, and then 4, 5, 4, 5. Now, with regards to time, estimating the bull market to finish between March and November 2025, which is a big range, but as we get bigger sideways corrective structures, we will be able to identify time a lot more accurate. This scenario might be very interesting. So in this case, of course, you then have 1 and 2, and then here you have your 3, 4, and 5, and then inside 3, you have another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Very interesting. Now the price action, however, on the weekly time frame is quite similar in these type of scenarios where we do look for another high and then a bigger range / rejection to the downside, right? So in this case, of course, it is a bigger rejection. In a more bullish scenario, you look for 1 bigger rejection, 2, and then this is actually most bullish, having a bigger move down and then continuation up. And then a scenario I don't have on my chart, I might actually just put it on my chart, as I will be talking about this more often thanks to Smith, I believe it was. We would then have this. Now, mind you that wave 3, however, is then relatively short, which is, not ideal, right? But in this case, we then have our 3, 4, 5. The only requirement is that a wave 3 is not allowed to be the shortest, meaning your wave 5 has to be shorter than your wave 3. Also, and I'm talking about the blue 3. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 3 is not allowed to be the shortest. Your green 3, of course, is very big, right? But that's fine. That's fine. That's also what we actually like to see. Weekly, what are we going to call this? I'll just call this weekly medium for now. And then from a polyline perspective, we would look for this sideways 4, that sideways 4, and then we have our 5. We copy this polyline, drag it to the downside, and put it in the weekly polylines folder to summarize the price action. Now, in all of the cases, we preferably look for higher prices and then a rejection, right? So here a move down, right? And in the other two also a move down. So that is something to look out for on a weekly time frame. But in general, trend is up. Probabilities remain higher for more upside to come on a weekly time frame, right? Now on the I gotta say, this was quite nice. We can now remove this over here. Oh, there we go. This was the blue polyline. Or actually the scenario on a daily time frame that we were looking for. So we have at least a double 1-2. I sometimes get a question about, hey, why don't you have another 1-2 here? The reason I don't like to count this as a 1-2 is because of this move to the upside, which is not clear as an impulse at all. And if you want to count this as a 1 and this as a 2, your wave 2 is incredibly big, right? Now, alternatively, you can count this whole structure as a triangle in a WX and triangle Y ending here, 1, 2, 1, 2, which makes sense. So from a conservative point of view, it makes more sense to count a double 1, 2 with the potential of another 4, 5 later, adding another 1, 2. But that's a problem for later. We don't actually have to think about that because at the moment, it doesn't affect our probabilities. It doesn't affect our Elliott wave analysis, basically. So here we then have our 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Still looking for another high. Now the common target for your wave 4 is the blue box here between the 236 and the 0.5 on my chart, which is an area that we have reached, as you can see. And preferably your wave 4 is longer in time than your wave 2. And if you take a fib time from the start to the end of 2 to the end of wave 3, you toggle on the 1-to-1, then you can see that the current low, at least, is made on top of the 1-to-1. So the minimum target, or generally at least the minimum target for 4, is reached, which is the 1-to-1 fib time. Now a wave 4, however, can be a lot longer in time than a wave 2, right? It is no problem for a wave 4 to be twice the length, even 3 times, right? The moment you start to reach 4, that's not too great, right? The 4 is on Friday, the 7th of February. So preferably in January, you end this wave 4, right? And it is no problem to look for the potential of bigger corrective structures. We'll talk about this once we go to the 4 hour. But by all means, a minimum target is reached. So from a time perspective, the retracement is good enough. And from a price perspective, the retracement is good enough. Anything that follows after is just bonus, right? So yeah, trend is still to the upside, probabilities higher still for upside. Your bearish scenario would be what you see on the chart here, ending 5, looking for 1, 2, and a much deeper retracement, lower probabilities because your wave 4 here is incredibly short compared to 2, shorter than 2, which isn't as common. And it reached the 0.382, which is an absolute minimum target really for a wave 4 compared to 2. But it's just not common for 4s to be that short. So that's the reason why. And then we go to the 4 hour. Actually, let's have a look at the volume profile here. Approaching the point of control, it seems. No? I have an alarm here just below the point of control. Oh, wait. Why did it change? I'm on a 4 hour time frame. Okay, point of control. I think on the 15-minute it might actually be then a little bit higher, but let me do this. So there we go. So that when the point of control is hit, we know. Okay, very nice. Okay, and then we go to the 4 hour time frame, which is where we are at the moment. What's up, Seriga? How you doing, man? Seriga is someone that loves to cycle with the Kunstcap that he has. He once did a competition with the cap as well. What's up, Seriga? Chill Pixels, hey, I love the video updates. Always a pleasure. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Maurice, what's up? Would you also have a look on a specific stock? That would be during the altcoin stream. I can do anything there. Commodities, stocks, alts, you know, any chart, let's say. Now on a 4 hour time frame, we of course had 4 scenarios this morning, where I mentioned that the 99k to 100k level plays an important role with regards to the scenarios and also the probabilities. Now, I will go over these scenarios in a second, but this is the detail, right? So I don't do this very often in my videos. I think this might be one of the first times, but in my previous video this morning, I added a personal feeling section, which is basically what am I looking for? So yes, we have the Elliott wave probabilities, but then there is like, as a trader myself and someone experienced in the markets, what am I looking for? What's my feeling, right? So like, and it was a little bit different compared to necessarily the probabilities, at least for the short term, because here I said, I'm like, when price was down here, I'm not yet fully convinced that a top, this one here, is in, and we look for an impulsive move to the downside, right? I would need more information to increase probabilities for a move down. The move up so far from 91k, which is this section when I made the video, is tricky to count as a 3-wave structure, right? Which is something that plays on my mind, and we had consistent bullish CVDs as well, as price is moving to the upside, and I don't like to go against the bullish CVDs, right? Shorting into bullish CVDs is not something that I enjoy doing. So basically what I said here is, for me to look for more downside, right? I like to see local bearish CVDs as price then creates bearish market structure, which we didn't, right? We have a little bit of a retracement, but not bearish market structure with continuous bearish CVDs. So in other words, I'm not interested to look for short positions, right? Of course, I am interested, but I'm not taking them because there is no sign of clear weakness, I suppose. Now, you also, of course, saw the probabilities, which do remain unchanged. But let's cover these scenarios and tell you what you have to look out for from an Elliott wave point of view. Actually, before doing this, the psychology scenario, I always love psychology. From a psychology point of view, I just spoke about this with Overset Tim in Discord. What would be very interesting is to create a lower high where preferably people think about a continuation of the bull market and a breakout. That's the ideal scenario. So price moved down, right? Bit of a range, move down again. Currently, there is no market structure change, right? I would like, I suppose from a market maker's perspective, to increase the liquidity of people buying by having price move up. Now, we do have some very interesting resistance up here, by the way. People buy, FOMO, think price continues, 2 new all-time highs, grab that liquidity, drag it down, stop everyone out, grab that liquidity again, right? The stops and the liquidations, use this to get the big long sorted, right? Use that liquidity, enter the longs, and then look for continuation to the upside. I don't know. It feels like from a psychology point of view, this so far feels a bit timid, right? It feels very calm. Yeah, okay, this is a nice move down. Okay, we took a few lows, right? Pretty decent. Nonetheless, something that we were looking for, right? As mentioned on the daily time frame as well. We're looking for price to move down, looking for price to take some lows, and la-di-la-di-la. It's just from a psychology point of view, this here, we spent quite a lot of time down here. We don't have a market structure change yet. I wouldn't mind seeing a bit of that psychology scenario, right? Where you do fake out the bulls and then drag it back down. Would need a bit more signs of weakness, which at the moment we don't have. We have locally bullish market structure and not yet any structural changes, any significant bearish CVDs together with bearish market structure, right? So far, we're just looking for price here to move towards the upside, nothing really changing. Bit of resistance, of course, right above us, so just something to keep in mind. And the next level here, value area high at 100K, but enfin, this is just, it's just something that I keep in mind because it would be nice to trade, in other words. Now, this diagonal on the chart here is a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Probabilities are lower now for this scenario as price took out this high, which as mentioned in the morning update, preferably this was the end of 4 to count like a double zigzag here. Because it becomes a bit tricky, A, B, and now this has to be another A, B, C, but very short C here. It's just not ideal. Your invalidation for this scenario is 99K. So we are approaching 99K. We're not there just yet. So it's not invalidated till it is invalidated. It's not yet invalidated. Now here you do want to see price take the low and not touch 89 point. Well, this is now higher because price moved up. So 89.9K now. So you want price to take out 3. But as you can see, very limited amount of space between the low of 3 and 89.9K. Right, so it starts to become more difficult to look for something like this, the invalidation is coming close. For the one that asks a question in the comment section, this diagonal can both be a wave A of a zigzag, as well as a wave C of a bigger flat and then continuation. Just so that I answered it. Not the highest probability scenario. This one here is now invalidated. Showed it this morning. As an alternative to the diagonal, if you do move down and hit the 1-to-1 down here, then you have to look for a bigger retracement. Now this is the pink line, by the way, in the polyline section. As mentioned, the moment you take this high in the morning video, the probabilities decrease for the pink line and the blue line. So that is what's happening at the moment. So these are like not really great high probability scenarios at the moment. This is a W flat X zigzag in a Y, and of course A, B, C. It's a tricky way to count this section as a 3-waver. So then we get to two bit more interesting scenarios. Wave 2 for a flat in this diagonal. No, it then has to be a zigzag. Wave 2 and a wave 4 in a diagonal can never be anything else than a zigzag family structure. So here we have a zigzag, and this is like your psychology scenario, right? This is that one scenario where you get an impulsive move to the upside, but instead of continuation, you look for rejection and another move to the downside to take the low. Very, very interesting indeed. Because it baits the bulls into looking for all-time highs, creating the liquidity. Yo, cheers. Yes, have a good evening, man. So in this particular case, we then have our A, we have a flat in B, and you look for a wave C. Now your wave B in red, 3 wave A, 3 wave B, multi 1, 2 is then what we're looking for in this section. And we still then have our 3, and we look for a couple of 4, 5s. And the move to the upside at resistance, 104 to 106K ideally. And then look for price to move towards the downside to still take out the lows one more time. This scenario remains valid as long as you don't take out the all-time high at 108.4K. And the minimum target is taking out this high here at 99.9K. Can you give us a trade? Well, I don't give signals, so that's one. I do give probabilities, but those are not signals. Can someone link him the 6 steps video? That's why I made it. What I can help you with, instead of fishing for you. Oh wait, you guys can't post the link because links are not allowed in the chat. Wait 1 second here. Let me get this sorted. So for trader high stakes, I recommend to description, LINKTREE, educational content. You click, you wait, and then you check this video, and that's what you're looking for basically. Because if you are dependent on someone else for your trades, you'll never be profitable long term. So please don't. Build your strategy, build your plan, trade your strategy, trade your plan. So yeah, in this scenario, right, we're looking for a continuation to the upside. Minimum target is the high of your A. I am personally very interested in the resistance at here, like 104.2 to 105.4. That is a very nice level indeed. But the minimum target has to be reached. Your bullish scenario is continuation to the upside. So in this case, we then have a finished ABC or WXY. You can also see that I avoided counting the subwaves, right? A few reasons for that, and that is because this scenario at the moment does not have the highest probabilities. Because if you do look into the lower time frames here, you'll see that there's a few complications with counting this as a 5, 3, a 5, right? So this then has to be a diagonal, but counting this structure as a wave C in a diagonal, first of all, C is very short. Minimum target has been reached, that's something. But counting this as a diagonal has to then be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 longer than 3, 2 is what the fuck, right? Or you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but then 5 is longer than your 3, which is not allowed in a contracting diagonal, right? So that's not what you like to see. But then you have to think about an expanding diagonal because 5 is longer than your 3, if you would count like this. But then your 4 is shorter than your 2, which is not allowed. So an ABC is an issue. And then with a WXY, you need to count this as a W, which means a zigzag, because a WXY is not allowed in a W. So you need to count this as A, B, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, C. That means your C is over the 1.618 trend-based subextension longer than A, if you know what I mean, right? So in other words, C is very long, which is not common, right? It's not preferred. and it lowers the probabilities. And then even in your wave Y, you then also need to count this as a 3-wave structure. Now, when I analyzed the chart this morning, the best I could make it happen, like, yeah, if I want to count this as a 3-waver, would be to count A, W, X, Y, B, and this being a C, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mind you that this move down is not a great impulse. This is then your A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in C. But then you again get a diagonal here, which leads to the same problem. 5 is longer than 3. Which is not allowed in a contracting diagonal, and it can't be expanding because 4 is not as high or higher than 2. So it is tricky to count a finished corrective structure at this low, which therefore explains the probabilities of this morning, which basically is still looking for price to take the low. Now, the only way for the probabilities to increase for green compared to red or purple, pink and blue, but of course as price is pushing up, pink and blue become less likely, right? Let me put on the probabilities of this morning. So the probabilities here on the number 1 spot, correction continues, which is red, pink or blue. 2, finish correction, green. Now, for price to take the low, we need an impulsive move to the downside. And this is what I spoke about quite long in the morning update, is if you see a rejection to the downside, a range, you need an impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Or at least a good diagonal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or a multi 1, 2. All of these are impulsive structures, but you need at least a 5-wave structure, not a 3-wave structure. Now you can clearly see here, we got ourselves a 3-wave structure. The moment price took out this high, you're looking for that high, which we got. So for price to take out this low, you need a 5-wave move to the downside, which is the case in pink, in blue, but also in red, right? So that's something one has to wait for, because at the moment we're pushing up, which is the wrong direction if you're looking for price to take the low. No? And then, of course, I had my personal feeling where I said when price was down here that this doesn't yet feel like a top is in. And I was personally still looking for higher based on the structure that was forming here. We didn't have continuous bearish market structure, continuous bearish CVDs were nowhere to be seen. Yeah, I keep an eye on every range being a 3 or 5-wave structure. This was a 3. The moment you take out this high in the middle, long opportunity basically, and take out the high as a minimum target. So to summarize probabilities on the different time frames, on a weekly time frame, we are looking for price to take out all-time highs still, look for higher prices. We have different polylines. I actually got to make this a different color here. We're going to make this one light blue. We do like a bit of light blue, and then we do this, that, make it nice, make it look good. So you can see that in all cases we still prefer, right, from an Elliott wave point of view, probabilities are higher to still take out the high and then look for a bigger range or a bigger rejection. In both cases you're going to move towards the down, or actually in all cases you're going to move towards the downside. From a daily perspective, the probabilities were higher and are still higher to follow the blue line. Right, this blue line does not show any particular count in detail, like for example a bigger corrective structure. It was simply meant, we have this blue line on the chart already for a long time. It was simply look for price to move down in a 4 and then later go back up, right? So that remains your higher probability. And on the 4-hour time frame, I suppose, the probabilities remain higher to take out this low. And if price does take out this high here, then a flat is what we're going to be looking for, which also would work very nicely with the psychology scenario mentioned earlier. Now, the only reason or the only way for the bullish scenario to increase in probabilities, which is this. Also, by the way, this retracement is very shallow for a wave 2. But the only way for the bullish probabilities really to increase here is if every range we get is going to be a 3-wave corrective structure. So we move up, 3, up, 3, up, 3, up, 3. Take the high, take the high, take the high, take the high. The moment you get a 3-wave retracement like we had here very clearly, you look for price to move up. We don't want a 3-wave retracement. We need a 5 for red in this particular case. Also for pink and for blue, by the way. But of course, if we take the high, we need a 5-waver down, not a 3-wave structure down. And that is a very important difference. Now, just to show you, right, what do I look at? Earlier today in silver, we had this 3-wave structure. This is where I recorded my video this morning. No? And for this to be bearish, you either need a 1-2-1-2 down. Now the probabilities for a multi-1-2 decreased the moment you hit the 886. Point of control is touched now. So the moment you touch this 886, the probabilities for a multi-1-2 decreased. An impulse to the downside here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 didn't work because of the overlap that you had here. Price action and the low, right? Doesn't work. And then you have the potential of a diagonal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But in that case, you need to take the low first before moving all the way up. So in other words, the moment price took the 886 here, probabilities automatically were higher to take this high and for bullish continuation to the upside. Now it takes a little bit of patience, right? Takes time, takes time, takes time, takes time. Okay, clarity. Look for a long opportunity. Minimum target is taking out the high with the potential, of course, for continuation. Which is how I personally traded this range. So, yeah. So my entry was here. And then, of course, I am wrong if price continues to the downside. Or I just look, have a loss, and then later look for a new entry. But yeah, I mean, I had the plan, and I traded the plan, and we are in profits with the plan. So it's a good day. Water is finished. The 886 is just a Fibonacci. It's not an indicator. It's just this Fibonacci tool here. So Fib retracement, you can find it here on the left, Alt F, if you want to shortcut it. And basically, if you look for a 1, 2, and another 1, 2 for a wave 2, the 886, right, is a very, very rare target. So the moment the 886 is touched, you're generally not looking for a wave 2 anymore. You're looking for something else. So in this case here, as mentioned, I can't count an impulse down because of the overlap. For a diagonal, I still need the low. And if I pull an 886 here and it's touched, I know that a multi-1-2 has very low probabilities. In other words, and even a diagonal. So in other words, looking then for price to take the high. So it's just a Fibonacci pull, and of course, together with a understanding of what the 886 means from in an Elliott wave setting. So yeah, very nice. Now let's do this. So we will look for alts in the next live stream. Let me pin this here. Also with regards to time in today's live stream. Now we are at resistance, by the way. We now hit the point of control. There you go. So very nice. A little bit of a rejection. And yeah, we'll see what we get here locally. right? So I was at least looking for another high, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, highest amount of volume in 3, so preferably taking out the high, another high, and a lower amount of volume was the minimum that I was looking for. Now the weekend is coming up, and this is something I do have in mind. Generally during the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, price action moves sideways and is not moving into wave 3s, and the weekend is coming up. Right, so we're currently at resistance here. So if we do get any wave 3 type of movements, then it better be in the last couple of hours of this day, maybe during the night, Friday on Saturday. But Saturday, Sunday typically is a ranging structure. So yeah, now that we hit the resistance right above us here, I'm very interested to be patient and see if we do get a 5-wave rejection or another corrective range. What's the highest probability you're looking at locally now? Because this sideways is very dull. I personally excel in ranging structures. Ranges are a lot more fun to count actually than impulses for me. And also in a ranging structure, I get my boxes and my support and resistance areas, which are very helpful. But yeah, it depends on the time frame, right, that you're looking for. I mean, I just covered the probabilities. Weekly still up, daily still up, and on the 4-hour time frame, preferably still take out the low. Wouldn't mind, however, first to create a fake out type of scenario where you fake out the bulls, thinking that there's going to be continuation of all-time highs, only to drag it back down. So yeah, we'll take it level by level, but that's the 4-hour probabilities. Probabilities on the 4-hour remain higher to still take out the low that we made, but of course keeping an eye on every new range is what's going to be what I'll be doing also in the content. So this range here, for example, 3-wave structure, cool, looking for another high. If price here creates another retracement, if this again is corrective, we look for another high, and then we just look what's next, next level, and that's how bullish probabilities can increase. For the bulls, and the probabilities for a bullish scenario straight to all-time highs basically to increase. It literally goes step by step by step by step, because every new range needs to be analyzed as a 3-wave structure. So at the moment, the probabilities on the 4-hour remain high to take the low. Daily and weekly still look for higher. Dexter, Mr. Friends, good to have you two here. Welcome. Mr. Friends, what's up? Saw your messages coming in. Make sure to reply to you. Awesome work as well, by the way. And Dexter, I had a great holiday. Was nice to see family, friends, busy time. And of course, I live in France, and then when I'm back in the Netherlands and I see family and friends, then yeah, it's a whole social agenda, but I like it. Yeah, it's nice to meet everyone, and we had a great time. Hopefully all of you had a good time with family and friends as well. Can you count the local move up from 91K? Yeah, well, this structure here, so that would be 1-hour time frame. There's always a can. Now this counts best as a 5-wave structure, right? And then it becomes interesting, because here you can either count this as a 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5 impulse, right? In that case, you would then count this as a WXY to be bearish, which is a double zigzag, which, by the way, fits with a diagonal still, which is, as long as you don't hit 99K, still alive. Or you're going to move into multi 1-2s, either as a 1, 2, 1, 2, and then, of course, another 1, 2, or 1, A, B, C, ugly, but then just a single 1, 2, and then you need another like 1, 2-ish. I'm not a big fan of it's not a clear impulsive structure. This is very messy, a lot of overlap in this move towards the upside here as well. Yeah, we had bullish CVDs all the time, but you can see that the amount of overlap here is, do we even have overlap here? No, here we just missed out on a bit of overlap here, but yeah, seeing this amount of overlap, it does make you think of a corrective structure, so to speak. But then again, it adds to the probabilities of still looking for another low at a later stage. I'm not too interested yet in counting this move up, because the probabilities, remember, go to the video of the 23rd of December. You will remember my polylines, where the probabilities were higher to look for a bounce according to the polylines and see a move to the upside. Now, after we got that break of structure, in my video that I made on the, or a live stream that I did on the 13th of December before going to the cinema, I mentioned that I'm looking here for a 5-wave structure, then a retracement and another leg up, right? Taking out the high. Cool, got that. Then we moved down, took the high again. Bullish CVDs, kept building. So now I start to use other tools with this retracement. Bullish CVDs kept building, and then we had bullish CVDs here, bullish CVDs here, bullish CVDs here. Okay, then I'm looking for another high. But I'm not really too interested yet to count this move in particular in a lot of detail. I'm more interested in waiting for new ranges and analyze the ranges. Because that is what matters the most in the difference between the bullish and bearish scenario. So, of course, we do have overlap here as well, which means that this cannot be a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, because your wave 1 and 4 have overlap. What Overset Tim said correctly in Discord just earlier is you can, because of the overlap here, count this as a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5, which is a diagonal, which is 100% correct analysis. And in this case, your wave 5 needs to be a 3-wave structure. So we then have a 3-wave in 1. We also then count this as a 3-wave in 3, and we need a 3-wave in your 5, right? So if this is some crazy ABC again, then you could have a finished one. You know, in other words, if you take out this low, that's a problem for the bulls, right? This one here. So this one is very much alive, and then you have a fib, and then your invalidation here is 101.2K. That is your invalidation for your diagonal here on the chart. So yeah, but I'm mainly interested in looking for the new ranges. Are they corrective or are they impulsive? And that will have a great impact on probabilities. So of course, credits to Overset Tim for that diagonal. He just posted it earlier in the gold channel in Discord. Absolutely, chill pixels. If that's the case, then I may have given you a role already in Discord, which is the CVD role. I generally don't announce when I give someone the role, but it should be the Koens CVD channel. If you don't see it, then I'll check the list and then I'll get you sorted. Yeah. How to import your CVD template in TradingView? That would be the first link in the description. And if you click on the first Discord link in the description, it says CVD template and then a Discord logo, right? If you click on that, you go to the Discord group, and then it explains how to download the template and as a file and upload it to AGGR. So it's all written down there. Yeah. Sander, welkom. Goed dat je erbij bent. And thanks for your comment. Nice to see you back after well-deserved holidays. Cheers, Sander. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you gotta have a break. I gotta say, I as much as I love analyzing, trading, live streaming, I also really enjoy having those moments where I take some time off. Not to forget the amount of content that was pushed last year was, when I checked the numbers, was quite incredible actually. Of course, maybe some channels will do more, others will do probably a lot less, but 388 videos and 298 live streams. Yeah, that's a lot of content on the YouTube channel. We may actually have reached 2K videos. Wait, how many videos have I uploaded now in total, or content? One second, let me check here. We were at 1.9K. Oh, we still are. Okay. No, I didn't yet reach 2K pieces of content on the YouTube channel. So soon. What's your plan during the weekend? Doing anything nice? Thanks for asking, Captain Swag. Now, this weekend, what did I have? I don't have any meetings in my agenda. I'm going to actually check my agenda. So first of all, during the weekend, what I always like to do is go out and about with the wife and go to a city or do an experience together, go to the mountains, go for a hike, go, that sort of stuff. So that will definitely be something that we're going to do. Tomorrow morning, I actually have French lessons together with my wife. My French is better because I have a French mom, but it's not fluent. I'm not raised in two languages. So we're taking French lessons together. And tomorrow morning, we have our first lesson at 10:30. And then, I don't know, the rest of Saturday, I will probably work on improving my desk setup and testing a few things. So today, actually, I focused on creating focus modes on my phone, which I got to show you guys this. Wait, because this is really cool. So wait, and I will share the link with you of the guy that I. Wait, let me. So this is, if you do write a comment below this video, then say hi from Koens. He has no idea who I am. But basically what this video teaches you is how to make your phone a productivity machine, basically, right? So instead of distraction. So I did everything in that video, and it's a new phone that I first time I'm using an iPhone, so I'm using all sorts of videos online to try and figure it out. So what you see here is my those are my different focus modes, right? It even includes times, as you can see. And each focus mode is bound to something that I have in my agenda. My agenda during the day is the same every day. And in the moment I would click on morning, right? I have just like my morning checklist. I have my agenda, and then I have buttons down here. And if I click on that button, then I go to the next focus mode, which is the start of my working day, basically. So in the morning, I have my checklist in the morning. I check everything. The moment I'm finished, I click on that icon that I have there, and then I go into the next focus mode, which is meant for work, which is then where I have my different apps, right? And I also, again, have a bit of a checklist over here, like reminders. And then once I click on the coffee, boom, it switches to the next one, which is my lunch break, basically, right? So then I can see the amount of steps that I'm walking. During the lunch break, I might go for a walk, so I want to see the amount of steps. I have YouTube, Formula One for a bit of content maybe, in case I'm not chatting to my wife. And then we have the video icon, which is the next focus mode. And this is basically my day in focus mode. So what I did is I planned my day in detail, created sections. Each section is its own focus mode. And basically during the day, my focus modes are linked. So every button at the bottom is basically like that icon there, right? That's like, boom, now I go to my reading and sports focus mode. And then later, the brain one, that is when I go to my learning and education, like myself. I always want to develop. That is this focus mode. And then I have two other ones. So you see the arrow, and you see this icon on every focus mode. I have this link icon, and I have that arrow. Now the link icon is for all sorts of apps that are not really, they don't really fit in one particular focus mode, right? So this is also a focus mode, by the way, but this is like all the different apps. And then if I click on the arrow, then I go back to this dock here. You see? So yeah, I mean, if you enjoy productivity things, then I can really recommend the video of the guy that I shared in YouTube just now. And basically my phone is now fully customized on my agenda. So my phone supports what I have to do in that period of time. So that's what I've been doing, and probably during the weekend I'll try to figure out a new microphone that arrived as well and set this one up. So I have everything. I just need to, you know, put it together. I also have a closet. So I have a closet as well, which I need to build. So probably I'll try to do that during the weekend as well. So yeah, I'm improving the system a bit, figuring out my new laptop as well a bit more, because I eventually want to use the new laptop as my main dock, which I'm not yet doing. So yeah, I have enough going on during the weekend, which is mainly focused, as you can hear, on getting to know systems like the iPhone. I got a MacBook here as well, which is new because this here is a Windows system. I'm not used to a Mac, so need to figure some stuff out and yeah, work on the setup. So that's what I'll be doing besides the French lesson, and go for a bit of an adventure with my wife. Yeah. So long answer, but yeah, that's what I'll be doing this weekend. So how about you guys? Like it's Friday night now here in France. You might live somewhere else. Maybe it's already Saturday where you live. But do you have any interesting plans this weekend? What's going on? Are you gonna trade? Are you gonna take it easy and take a break? Maybe you have an adventure, a weekend away, visit a city. When is the Elliott Wave book coming out? Well, with the Elliott Wave book, probably the book is, or the compendium, it's not, yeah, so it's a form of a book, but a compendium is slightly different. So the Elliott Wave compendium is probably going to be finished not too long from now, but then it's also about having terms and conditions and making sure that from a law perspective, it is protected. And that is something that does take a bit more time because I don't have that. So terms and conditions, and then while I jump into terms and conditions and that sort of stuff, I can as well just get the whole business sorted out with, you know, like more like, of course, we have the like IP, terms and conditions, trademarks, yes or no, and I don't know what. So yeah, but we're working on it. It will be, of course, this year, preferably Q1, to be honest. Then, of course, we need to upload it or download it or make it downloadable for people, for, like, let's say through Amazon Kindle or other platforms. So we have to check that out. But we're working on it. We're working on it, yeah. I don't yet have a date. So we would need to finish the content itself in the book, and then with the lawyer, I will have a better idea of when it's going to be finished. Yeah. AJ, thanks for the learnings. Now I trade in a more relaxed way, more peace in life. I'm happy to hear that, man. Trading can be super stressful, but you know, if you have a plan and a strategy, it can actually be enjoyable. Of course, earning money is enjoyable, but it can also be enjoyable when you're losing money. If you at least have a clear plan, strategy, and good risk management, and you know that a loss is just a loss, right? It's if you have good risk management, no one has a 100% win rate. You're always gonna incur a loss at some time. So if the loss is just part of the plan and you executed well, your risk management was correct, your plan was correct, and it just happened to be a loss, it's just the way it is. You know, can't win every trade. So yeah, I'm happy to hear that it gives you a bit more peace, right? Also, Elliott waves on higher time frames, of course, also provide you with a more, more peaceful experience. The 15-minute time frame can be very hectic, of course, as there's a lot happening, or even lower time frames. But on a, I like the 1 hour. I like the 1 hour. It's one of my like favorite trade-ish time frames. So like tradable time frames. Yeah, I also like the 4 hour, but the 4 hour always feels a bit like, that's of course more for swings, but the 4 hour tends to feel like I gotta wait so long. The 1 hour is a nice middle ground, and the 15-minute is it's good for like day trading or finding additional entries, so to speak. In case if you're in a trend, and imagine you're not yet part of this move to the upside, then over here was another entry or a compound opportunity, which I took myself here, as we got a 3-wave structure down, and then we took that high, and yeah, that was my sign to be part of the move, basically. So just check, didn't have the CVD channel. Okay, we'll check it out, or Odin may have already checked it out. Let me see here. Oh, I see Jill's pixels. Yeah. Wait. Oh, I have to log in again. 1 second. So maybe Odin already gave you the role. So I'm just logging in to Blowfin. And oui. So I'll put your name green in the list. And then in Discord, maybe Odin already gave you the correct role. Who knows? Yep, there you go. You got it. Thank you, Odin. Dayon, what's up? How you doing? Welcome, man. Good to see you. Good looking brother. Bitcoin looking great. Imagine the price in 50 years when we look back at house prices and house deter. Yeah, I know, right? Like, I recently I had a little bit of a ChatGPT conversation about investing and stocks and that sort of stuff. And if you look in like over a 30-year period, it has never, I mean, there has to be a first time for everything maybe, but over a 30-year period, and it makes sense, of course, it never occurred that price, like that you did not make profit if you invested, basically, over a 30-year time frame, which of course is very long term, right? This is like retirement portfolio stuff or just general like long-term investing stuff. But yeah, like with what you say, the housing prices and inflation and all of that stuff. Of course, we're talking Bitcoin here, but also other assets. It's the way to go. Nice Hurricane. Is she yours? No, I don't like watches, cars, properties. I do not show that sort of stuff. So also I also never would have them as backgrounds, because I know during streams that my background will be visible sometimes, and I don't like for example a house to be visible, or my car or that sort of stuff, or watches. So I generally I'm very, some people hate it, some people love it, but I'm very keeping the feet on the ground, and I'm happy with where I am, but I'm also in a way very private, even though I'm on social media all the time. So I generally don't really like to flash or talk about the stuff I own. So the one in the background is just a picture from the internet. It's a nice one though. I do love a red collar, not gonna lie. Dejan, by the way, Happy New Year. What's up? What's up? Have a trading plan, know when a plan is not working, and play defense. Paula Bearman, what's up, man? Happy New Year as well. Made my month yesterday. Today was good. One more good day. I'll be ordering the laptop I wanted. Very good. And that's also what I like to hear. It is making use of your trading profits, right? So of course you can stack them in your account, but if you've done a good job in a period of time and you're happy, then take some of that profit out and just buy a dinner, buy a laptop, whatever. Just, you know, treat the wifey or the kids, or buy yourself something nice, you know. Would you give any advice on risk management? If you're starting, risk 1% a trade, and don't use leverage to increase your risk, but to decrease it. So first of all, if you trade, right, then whatever the size of your stop loss at the beginning, especially when you're starting, just risk 1% of your portfolio per trade. So if you have a 100K portfolio, you are risking 1K, right? Now you can size your, oh wait, my Control Z is bugged here, but you can size your trade. Of course, if your stop loss is exactly 1%, then theoretically you can enter the trade with 100% of your portfolio if you use 1x leverage, right? Of course, the moment you have a 0.5% stop loss, you would need 2x leverage to risk 1%, meaning 1K in this example, right? However, the moment your stop in this example is 1%, instead of going in with your whole portfolio and not have any funds left for maybe other trades or compounding, you can use or put your account on a 5x leverage or maybe a 10x leverage, but it is not to increase your risk. So your risk is still 1%, right? You're still risking 1K. However, you now have money on the side, right, to still compound, look for other setups and other trades, right? So you can do more with your money. And also, if you don't like to have all of your money on an exchange, right? Imagine you have 100K and you're like, okay, my trading budget is 100K, but I don't feel comfortable having 100K on an exchange. Then you can put 10K on an exchange, use 10x leverage to mimic 10K being 100K. So you're basically trading with 100K if you use 10x leverage, right? And now you trade with 10K with 10x leverage, mimicking a 100K account, but you have 90K in other places, in your bank account or other assets, or you can spend it differently. Right? So those are a few things that I would keep in mind, and especially once you're starting out, risking 1% is probably a good idea. Not higher. Only when you become more experienced and you start to have a solid idea of your plan, you can increase your risk, but start with 1%. Thanks, Paula Behrman. Index chart. Oh, that's for that would be another live stream, because I actually got to go. It's 8:20. I actually had to go at 8 for dinner, which might be starting getting cold now. Oops. Yeah, I'll make sure for this, because nothing really changes on the monthly too quick. Go to the YouTube homepage of my channel, scroll down to the macro Elliott Wave playlist, and check the most recent stream or video there. Any advice for scalping with small capital? Risk 1%. Have a good plan. Make sure to watch the video that I posted. So first of all, before you start scalping, right, have a plan. You need a scalping plan. So check this video, 6 steps to becoming a profitable trader in less than 90 days. Work on the 6 steps. Build your plan, because it doesn't matter if you're a swing trader, day trader, investor, or a scalper. You still need a plan. You just need to figure out your tools, and then you use the risk management I explained just now to make sure you don't get wrecked. So the rejection probabilities for the current wave, as long as price is pushing up, there's no probabilities for rejection, because you need to wait for a range to form, and at the moment we're just pushing. So just need to wait for a range, and once a range forms, that is when I will be able to, just like here, analyze the probabilities of continuation or a bigger rejection, because we either look for a 3-wave correction or a 5. Yeah. On the 15 minutes, I only use CVD. So if you ask me, then CVD, of course, in the description, that's the one that I like to use, and I don't use anything else. So that would be my answer, is I don't use any other indicators. I am familiar with others, but I don't use them in my trading. So Supertrend, MACD, MFI, of course you have the RSI, and I bet there's many. You have that cloud, the Ishimoku cloud, and all sorts of other stuff. But I don't have experience with it. I don't use it. Bull market end between March and November 2025. But to get a better idea of the exact date, I need more information. So I would need new all-time highs at a bare minimum, and then see when the next range is forming. So yeah. So currently Q2, Q3 would have your highest probabilities. Yes, it can be a diagonal, but wave 4 touching an 886 in a diagonal is of course very rare, because then you need to think about an expanding diagonal. If wave 2 in a diagonal hits the 886, that can be considered fine. It happens more often, of course, and the 886 is still a target for a 2, but not really for a wave 4 in a diagonal. Yeah. Studying charts all weekend, that's a very, very good thing to do, in my opinion. Okay, everyone, it's time for me to move on. So yeah, we analyzed the chart. I'll put the timestamp in after closing the stream and having dinner, as I'm pretty sure my wife is waiting for me. So I'll check if I can be live for some altcoins as well this weekend. I do have a lot to do this weekend, as explained earlier, building a closet behind me because it's very empty after moving in. So the closet arrived, and then I can put the lights in. I got my my microphone as well. Hopefully you like the Kunz logo here as well. So got the mic. I got the rig as well to set up the mic. I need some other stuff, learn to use the iPhone and the MacBook better, and all that there's enough to do, enough to learn besides my French lesson, and do some things with my wife, going outdoors and some adventures. So we'll see. But yeah, for now, quite clear on the charts. Right? What we're looking for has been discussed, and let's wait for a new range to form. And once a new range forms, we'll get more clarity. And of course, once next week starts, we'll probably do alts again, almost every live stream, as we did before Christmas. So tell the missus we appreciate her letting us have you. I will, Bear. Thanks for that message. I'm gonna show her once I close the stream. I'll keep the chat open and I'll make sure she reads it. Yes, thanks everyone for popping in. Thanks for being here. Also, of course, once again, thanks for 2024. It was a great year, both trading wise, but that's of course for myself, but also YouTube wise. I never thought starting making videos early 2023, 20th of February 2023 would lead to what's happening here. So everything is new to me. I try to do the best I can with the content and the quality and answering all your questions, and eventually building a team, and then now working on a book as well. And it's all new. It's all like an experiment for me as well, building a team and all that stuff. But I enjoy it, and hopefully you enjoy being part of that journey. So thanks for everything in 2024. Let's make 2025 a banger as well, both in your portfolio and on the YouTube channel. So thanks again, and I'll be seeing you at the next video or live stream.